Hello everyone, Lawrence Fleming here again. I thought I'd give you a different view. I am now out at my campsite and I'm close to the center of the activity area here, and they have some nice flowers in bloom. And what you probably can't see, you might a little bit, there's a lot of bees buzzing around up there, so hopefully they leave me alone. I have to hold my camera. I broke my selfie stick. So if it's bouncing around, I apologize. I may have to keep this shorter than normal because I don't know if I can hold this thing up here for 20 minutes. All right. I just want to kind of do a recap of where we are at this week. We are waiting, obviously waiting on the rapture. This is a holy week for pretty much everybody. The Jews are celebrating Passover, Christians, Resurrection Day, or you can call it Easter if you want. And the Muslims are celebrating Ramadan, so that might be why it's so calm. After they're done celebrating, the Muslims will probably do something. They usually do. Last year, the Hamas war with all those rockets happened during Ramadan. As much as they love celebrating their God, and their God is not our God, they hate Israel more, so they will take time out from worshiping their God to go to war with Israel. The people of Iran are pretty much in agreement that they want all this to stop. It's the crazy leaders. The crazy leaders seem to always be the ones causing the trouble. It's the crazy leaders that captured Jesus after they couldn't figure out what to do with him. They gave him back to the crazy Jewish leaders and said, do with whatever you want to do to him. But they did exactly what God wanted them to do. The early church blamed them for Jesus' death, but he could have stopped it. He even asked God, but no, not my will be done, yours. So they did exactly what they were supposed to do. He can use evil for good anytime because he's smarter than them. Okay, so we're going to be celebrating Easter this weekend, where we think about what Jesus really did for us. Obviously, his death on a cross was a major sacrifice, painful one that most of us today probably couldn't handle. He was in better shape than most of us today, and a lot younger. He was 30 or 33. God, I can barely even remember 33. Okay. I'm tired because I've already hiked around this thing a couple of times. There's a nice cool hiking trail around the lake and everything. That's how I get out and I can talk to God. Jesus used to go off and climb up a mountain and sit and talk to God. I bet he didn't have cars speeding by back then, like I do. But you can still hear the birds. I'm looking at the trees. The regular trees are blooming now. Here in Georgia, because we have a winter, not a tough one, but because we do have one, only the pine trees stay green during the winter. Everything else dies off. It's a very pretty fall. And in the wintertime, you can actually look through the trees and see what's on the other side. You can't do that in the summer. I've driven by lakes and houses and all kinds of stuff for the first few years I was here before I realized they were back in there. And it's just, there's trees everywhere. I used to fly, and I'd fly over this area, and I'd try to find my house. I could barely follow the roads. It was a small plane. Peaceful. Calm before the storm. I think I mentioned that before. Enjoy it while you can. Now, I don't know what the rapture is going to feel like. I know what some of the rides at the amusement parks feel like when they lift you in the air. They're controlled scares. I would hope ours is a gentler ride. But if we're to go up in the clouds and be snatched away, will we reach Mach 1? It's fun to imagine. We start off as kids with a vivid imagination, and we can play and have fun. As adults, we learn to lose that, and that's sad. That's why I like to do my acting bit that I do, because I get to play. But I'm going to take a break from it for a little while. I've got to rethink this, decide who I'm going to work for and who I'm not. I'm a little disappointed in one particular major producer. Again, I don't want to take this too political, but as a kid I met Walt Disney, and he'd be turning over in his grave. So give me a break, and my phone, I still get notices. I can just turn them down. They'll keep coming back. After this week, if we don't have our guesses right, and that's what they are, is guesses. If we don't have our guesses right, we got to decide, is it going to be first fruits or unleavened bread? Is it even really tied to a Jewish holiday? This is the Gentile age, not the Jewish age. When they start the 70th day, that's where the switch gets flipped. And then they're going to try to line up with the Jewish holidays. Trumpets and atonements would be big for that. Those that are only seeing the rapture at the end are looking for that. But there's at least, for most people who've read a little bit of Revelation, there's at least 4 raptures. And Jesus has never been raptured. He doesn't need to be snatched away. He can just nonchalantly walk away. They can't do anything to him. But us, Satan apparently could harm us in some way, so we're going to be plucked out of here. And then we get to watch the rest in heaven. I wonder if there are juice bars up there where we can sit and watch the big screen. I don't know. Again, the imagination can go crazy for good or for bad. If we go wandering off down a bad trail, Satan will jump in and help enhance it. So don't do that. Okay. Peaceful. I don't have any responsibilities. I was staying with some friends here in the area. Now that I'm here, I don't have to deal with anybody but nature right now. That's what I like. And of course you guys, but I'm preaching to the choir to you guys. You guys are supportive, and the ones that aren't, it's easy to pick them out. Like the one I got a while back, using pretty much every cuss word in the book. He had to tell me that he didn't like me preaching because I was putting out hate speech. I deleted them, I blocked them, but I could have said, I'm just doing what you're doing. All right. Again, I just want to do a short video. So we just keep looking up. I'm watching the clouds go over the head. And I turn this around. Nice peaceful clouds. Some that our happy painter would paint. You know who the first happy painter was? God, because he had to paint all this. All those colors back behind me he had to pick. The color of the sky he picked. The color of the grass. And a lot of times we come in and we repaint it, and I'm sure we disappoint him in our choices. Never as good as nature. All right. I'm rambling now, so until we meet in the clouds, God bless.